gun should be treated as though it's loaded. Now this, of course, is a dummy gun, so we're going to make exceptions to this. But every gun is always treated as though it's loaded. Empty guns kill people on a regular basis. In other words, somebody says, here, this gun's empty, and they end up shooting themselves or shooting somebody else. And so you always treat every gun as if it's loaded. Now, if I think this gun's loaded and I'm going to clean it, I'm not going to be aiming it over at you. I'm not going to be aiming it at my foot. It's always going to be aimed in a safe direction. So every gun is treated as though it's loaded. The second of those cardinal rules is you never aim it at anything you're not willing to destroy. Am I willing to destroy you? Am I willing to destroy my foot? When I go to reholster, then I don't come into my side and then go down as some people do, because I don't want to destroy myself. So you never aim it at anything you're not willing to destroy. People think, well, up to the ceiling must be a safe area, and that comes from Charlie's Angels. They even have a name for this hold that you see in movies. They call it the High Sabrina, and that came from Charlie's Angels. Real police don't do that. They may come in a mid-ready. They're ready to use it, but it's aimed at the ground. It's in a safe direction. If it's aimed up, you may think that's a safe direction, but remember the adage, what goes up must come down? And there have been numerous people that have been killed or injured with bullets, even though they've lost quite a bit of velocity as they've come back down. A girl in Pennsylvania, an Amish girl, was killed from a bullet that traveled 1.5 miles in the air and then came back down and struck her in the head and killed her just a few months ago. The third one of those cardinal rules is keep your finger off the trigger until you're on target. You index the gun. You put your finger on the outside of the gun. When you look through the hole, you should not be able to see your finger. This is the trigger guard. When you look through that hole, you shouldn't be able to see your finger. That's called indexing it. Even when you go to pull your concealed weapon out of the holster, you need to have it indexed so that as it's on the outside of the holster, when you pull out, that finger is still going to be indexed on the gun. That prevents the accidental shooting, because if I've got my finger on the trigger and you jump out and startle me, I can pull the trigger just by the muscles tensing up. So you want to keep your finger off the trigger until you're on target. When you're on target, get on the trigger. When you're off target, get off trigger. So it's on target, on trigger. Get off the trigger before you get off of target. The fourth one of those is know what your target is. Know what is between you and your target. Ask Dick Cheney. Know what's on the other side of your target. I've known a couple of people who have shot, wounded, or killed their children because their child was playing on the other side of the target. So you want to know not only what is between you and your target, is there somebody that could jump out just about the time you're going to shoot, or is there somebody behind that target? And we're not necessarily talking about just a paper target. Suppose you're a mugger and you're coming at me, but there are innocent people standing either side of you, there's an innocent person standing behind you. If I miss you, who is it going to hit? If I miss you or it goes all the way through you, then is it going to hurt somebody behind you? So then we have to rethink our tactics. Do I need to move so that I get out of the way, so that as you approach me more now, you're in the clear from those innocent people? So there's a lot of things that we talk about in this class, more than just the laws that are in the penal code, although that's definitely covered. We also talk about the tactics to use, how to be safe and how to use it safely, not only for yourself, but for the other people also.